Let's be real for a second. Everyone is talking about AI transformation right now. Literally everyone. If you spend 5 minutes scrolling through LinkedIn, or if you listen to any recent corporate earnings call, you'd honestly think every company out there has completely revolutionized their entire business overnight. But in this explainer, we're going to bypass the hype and look at what actually happens behind closed doors. Because the gritty reality is, most AI projects just quietly die before they ever reach production. And the fascinating thing is, they don't fail because the AI model itself is weak, and they definitely don't fail because the engineering team isn't smart enough. No. They fail because companies are fundamentally just not ready for the reality of deploying AI.
To really understand why this happens, we have to contrast the boardroom illusion with the gritty engineering reality. There's this huge tendency right now to treat AI like a magic feature. You just buy it, plug it in, and poof, it fixes your business. But that's pure hype. The reality, the engineering reality, is that AI is just software. It's software combined with data, combined with infrastructure, and combined with business process. If you try to build AI on top of messy, broken systems, it doesn't matter how advanced your large language model is. It really doesn't. If just one of those foundational pillars is cracked, the entire project is going to come crashing down.
Okay, so let's dive into this and structure our postmortem around the 5 fatal root causes of AI project failure. Bad data quality, vague business objectives, missing infrastructure, the trap of fake demos, and finally, no evaluation pipeline.
First up, the data quality trap.
We absolutely have to start our diagnosis with the foundation. Look, it is incredibly common for leadership teams to march in and say, "We want AI." But then, when they actually hand over the data to their engineering teams, it is a complete and utter mess. We're talking duplicated customer names, wildly inconsistent dates, non-standard status values, missing fields left and right. And let's not forget the absolute classic: crucial, business-critical information locked away in random Excel files or decades-old legacy systems. This is a massive problem because, well, bad data gives bad output. If you try to build an AI fraud detector, but your historical transaction labels are wildly inconsistent, the model simply cannot learn what fraud actually is. Or think about building an AI sales assistant. If your CRM data is full of outdated records, your brand new, incredibly expensive AI will just confidently recommend the exact wrong actions to your sales team. The problem isn't the model, the problem is the input.
So, before anyone in your organization asks, hey, which AI model should we buy? Or should we go with OpenAI or Anthropic? Your data governance and data ownership teams must answer one specific, gatekeeping question. Is our data reliable enough to actually use? In real-world companies, rigorous data cleaning is almost always way more important than model selection.
Moving on to our second failure point: vague business objectives. This failure point happens when leadership starts with a piece of exciting new technology instead of starting with a concrete business pain. Now, vague goals create this loop of endless prototyping, whereas measurable goals define exactly what success looks like. Just saying we want a chatbot or we want AI automation are not business objectives. If your goal is that vague, your engineering team is completely flying blind. They can't decide what to build, they don't know what data to use, and they certainly don't know when the project is actually finished. Sure, everyone might be super impressed in the initial kickoff meeting, but a month later, nobody knows if it's actually moving the needle for the business. You need highly specific, measurable goals. Things like reduce manual invoice processing by 70% or detect payment fraud before settlement. AI projects shouldn't start with someone asking, how can we use AI today? They should start with asking which expensive, repetitive, or error-prone business process desperately needs fixing.
Our third fatal flaw: missing production infrastructure. Listen, a real AI system is not just typing a clever prompt into ChatGPT. Actually, deploying AI at scale requires incredibly rigorous software engineering discipline, and honestly, this is where so many companies just hit a brick wall. Because without the proper infrastructure, your AI is nothing more than a boardroom toy. Think about the difference here. A demo works perfectly on one laptop using carefully curated sample data. But production has to handle live, unpredictable data with robust databases and APIs. A demo can fail silently and nobody cares. Production requires comprehensive error handling, deep logging, and immediate rollback plans. A demo can completely ignore security protocols, but a real production environment demands authentication, rate limiting, and strict security controls. If you don't have the underlying infrastructure to support things like vector databases, complex search indexes, and continuous deployment pipelines, you literally cannot run AI reliably for real users.
And that leads us perfectly into Section 4, the illusion of fake demos. We have all seen this. This is the highly controlled, polished presentation that absolutely wows management, but breaks into a million pieces the second it hits the real world. There is an inevitable life cycle to the fake demo. First, the team prepares a highly controlled input.
The data is heavily cherry-picked, and the output looks absolutely fantastic. Step 2, management sees it and says, wow, this is incredible, this is the future of our company. But then step 3 happens. Real users actually get their hands on it. And let me tell you, real users do not follow a perfect script. They ask unclear, rambling questions, they use terrible grammar, they upload messy, incorrectly formatted files, they constantly hit weird edge cases. And suddenly, in step 4, the entire system breaks completely. A truly strong AI product isn't one that works flawlessly once in a heavily controlled meeting. It's a system that works repeatedly, day after day, under messy, completely unpredictable real-world conditions.
Finally, Section 5, No Evaluation Pipeline. This brings us to what is easily one of the most dangerous and widely ignored problems in B2B engineering today. Manual testing is weak testing. Most companies out there simply do not know how to measure the actual quality of their AI. They'll build a brand new AI support bot. They'll manually ask it maybe 5 or 10 questions, and if the answers look pretty good, they just assume the system is ready to scale to thousands of customers. That is a massive recipe for disaster.
Serious professional engineering teams don't rely on vibes. They build automated evaluation pipelines to test hundreds or even thousands of real customer questions against precise, hard metrics. You absolutely have to measure accuracy. You need strict automated hallucination checks. You have to run continuous regression tests because guess what? An update to an AI model might slightly improve one specific edge case, but completely break 10 others. You also need to track how much each query costs, how long it takes to process for latency, and crucially, this is a big one, how often the system safely says "I don't know" instead of just confidently guessing and lying to your user. Without this evaluation pipeline in place, every single update you push to production is incredibly risky, and you are essentially flying blind.
So, the paradigm shift. Less hype, more engineering.
How do we actually fix this? Well, it requires a fundamental paradigm shift. We have to step away from the endless hype and get back to traditional, rigorous software engineering. The future of this industry does not belong to the companies that just talk about their AI transformation on earnings calls. It belongs to the companies that do the hard work to actually deploy reliable, robust systems. So, I want you to take away this one core idea today. AI success in the real world is not about having the absolute newest, flashiest model. It is entirely about building the full, robust system around that model properly. That means demanding perfectly clean data, defining measurable business goals, investing heavily in reliable infrastructure, testing with real users, and running those continuous evaluation pipelines. It's less demo, more evaluation, less hype, and way more actual business results.
I'm going to leave you with this provocative question to really reflect on regarding your own internal projects right now. Take a long, hard look at what your engineering and data teams are currently working on. Are you just building a magic demo optimized for a management presentation, or are you actually engineering a reliable system that is genuinely ready for production? The answer to that question will absolutely determine whether your AI project scales or whether it quietly becomes just another failed experiment. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.